It's like
Good morning, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What's up? What's up, my friend?
Waiting,
Do you have anything today?
for
Anything
now not
good?
watching Gigi.
I'm tired. Had to turn on the generator.
Are you with it now?
Yeah. Yeah, I tried again. Once I tried with generator and internet didn't work. Like so many times I tried, but I've changed the company internet now, and it looks like the internet works with generator with them. So it's a good thing, but I had to move like 3 cars just to get the generator outside.
Damn, that's what you call first world problems, you know?
Yeah,
Moving 3 cars to start a generator.
for real. Took me like 20 minutes to get everything ready. That's why sometimes I'm a bit lazy maybe to turn the generator on because I have to do many things to prepare everything. For example, to get petrol for a generator if it doesn't have, and these kind of things. Anyway, we're still on time. We're not that late.
Nothing missed.
Yeah. Era NZD was epic yesterday. I had my runner all the way up here on Euro NZD yesterday. Was very nice. Looks like we're breaking below again. Okay, let's see. Is there any current break and retest happening? USD CAD 4 hour. USD CAD 4 hour. GBP US dollar 4 hour. Yeah, I was talking about GBP USD this trade here. I was looking for this because you can see that we broke below, came all the way back up, had a small rejection, but then we closed back in the range, did the retest and some continuation. Also, the 4 hour closed above the same way, so this was like a fake out maybe, and I think it should continue up. It should continue up, but we'll see if it doesn't break, if it doesn't continue to the upside because it already did break. We will see maybe a break below. We'll see. Euro JPY closed below this, and looks like it did the retest to continue down. The 4 hour level is a little below. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Not clear. Euro, Australian dollar, still in this big support here, getting rejected. Look at this, guys, because this I think this is a good example what happens in these cases when there's two zones in between. You can see yesterday we were looking for this and we were looking at this, and we said if it breaks above this we have this next zone and we're in between, and if it breaks this zone, we've talked about this a lot of times, there's a chance that it might come to this zone also to make the retest. So usually what we do, we try to find the like an average. We try to enter in the middle of two so we don't get this whole drawdown, because that's almost like 20 pip drawdown. And you can see how price did break above this but still came lower to make a retest of the support of this broken resistance, which now acts as support, and then came all the way up. One of the ways to do this also is to not take it here but wait for price to come all the way down here and get the retest, but you can wait after it closes all the way above and gives you a chance maybe to get in again, just like it did here maybe, even though I wouldn't take this because it went too far. But if we would have a candle here closed, then a one retest here to continue up would be perfect. Right now, sitting at support, looks like there's no setup. Let's take a look at other pairs. Australian dollar, US dollar. So yesterday we got rejected from this resistance. Today we're too far from that. 35 pips, almost 40. No setup there yet. NZD US dollar. So looks like we have a pretty strong resistance here. On NZD US dollar, maybe just a break below the support would give us something. Otherwise, we're stuck in this consolidation box and we're gonna have to wait until it breaks either way. This Euro NZD could be very, very good if it breaks below. Many people blowed yesterday. Why are we so small today? We're just getting started, man. It's only 10 minutes in. Patience, my friend. I don't know. We'll see. Look at the daily. Yesterday, daily was pretty bullish. If we get a rejection here from this support and We continue, we break the same level as yesterday. Maybe I'll take some buys here. GJ break and retest, not yet. There's still time. But AUD is very close to break here. If this breaks, then it's gonna be nice. GBP CAD still stuck in this range. Once I thought that, okay, since we're above this, we're gonna continue more, it just did the same thing again here. But looks like we have a resistance here, and that's why it couldn't break. So we're gonna wait for GCAD. If it breaks above, we have a very good setup here. GA. Look at GA. How good was this? A retest and a whole push to the upside. Very, very nice. AUD respecting zones perfectly. I like this. Look how a breakout, a retest, continuation. Okay, what is this? NZD CAD. NZD JPY is not giving us options anymore. It's not giving us retests. It's just breaking, doing small pullbacks, but not enough for us. Otherwise, this could have been an epic trade. If only it would come a little lower, a quick 20 pips. Morning, morning. What do you think about Nasdaq? I have no idea about Nasdaq. We don't trade it.
Hey Seth, can you go to GBP USD for a second?
GBP USD, yes.
Yeah, when you said that the breakout that happened in the morning, yeah. Didn't it push to the level that was a bit above 39630, around that level? Yeah.
Look, when you look at this, it's a mess, right? But only the big zones are like that you can see. You look at this and you see how many rejections we've had here. You look at this that you say it's one or two touches that happen, but this whole range is a consolidation box, so this shouldn't play a role.
Yeah.
This is the major zone in this case here, and this is what's gonna have impact when price hit this zone. You can see it's 3 hours of rejections to the upside, just like we would like to see, and it matches perfectly with what we have also on the left. It's the same zone from the beginning to here, and this is just probably a minor zone which doesn't really have effect that much. But since we didn't take it, now we have a choice here. If we're getting rejected from this major zone, let's say, and we have another small minor here, and price is getting rejected, what we can do is wait for price to close above this, and then maybe we can fill the zone to the upside, of course, if it gives us the chance. But I think once it goes above this, it's always going to be at the next zone, not going to give that much time for us to break and give us a retest and continue. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you.
GJ, a break to the upside. No, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What about GBP CHF? I don't trade that pair. It's one of the worst pairs in history. You know, like a year ago, we're taking trades and would have like weeks of straight wins, and at each of the week, like every 2 weeks, there would be a loss, for example, and that loss would be on GBP CHF. And it happened 2 or 3 times in a row. Like every 2 weeks, we'd have a loss, and that would be GBP CHF, and we just decided to delete it from the list because it was not worth trading it. It always resulted in a fake out. Do you trade GBP CAD? Yes, of course. Of course, we trade GBP CAD. I'm not very convinced that GJ is gonna break. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of momentum right now. Let's see how many news are coming up. We have to be careful. So we have news on Euro in 32 minutes. GBP market construction, PMI, this can have effect. Retail sales, 1.5 hour on Euro. Some USD news. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. GBP/USD trying to break below. I mean, who knows? This might be good. This might turn out to be very good. Let's look at the daily. If you look at GU overall, it's still bullish. It's still bullish, but We're not looking for a trend changing trade. Just looking for a quick scalp. And in this setup here, we might get one. Even though it's pretty messy, maybe it's better to just skip it. What about Euro US dollar sells? We have a zone here and we have a zone here. And also Euro US dollar disappointed us yesterday, so we don't trust it anymore. What about Euro NZD shorts? Euro NZD shorts only if it breaks all the way below this level. That's where I would be very sure about Euro NZD. Otherwise, I don't have any plans here. Have you tried Heikin Ashi candles? What is that? Heiki Ashi candles. There's so many different things in Forex. There's so many different strategies, so many different ways to trade. There are so many different ways to become consistent. It's just everyone will choose one and stick to it. Just like I choose break and retest and I stick to it. I don't have any plans to switch my strategy or try something else. As long as this works for me, I'm gonna be okay. I don't need to trade something else like some other way. Break and retest is treating me good, so we're gonna stick to it as long as we can. I'm just looking to see which setup that is coming is the best for us. And right now, from what I see, this EJ might be good. We have another 30 minutes, but it might be good. It might be good. So we have this range of 23 pips. I was thinking about buys already when this candle closed above, but I thought, okay, I'll wait for a better confirmation. And if this current candle now happens to go all the way up here and close good bullish and then give us a retest here to continue and fill this range, I think that would be awesome. And it's already making a new high, so that's good. If it closes without a top wick, would be even better. So looks like EJ might be on the list, the first on the list. What about GJ? I mean, GJ is not bad at all. we can easily continue to 149.840. That could be very nice too. See the 4 hour. Oh, this is perfect. The 4 hour is not gonna close in almost 2 hours or 1.5 hour. That might be a slight issue or not, but if we get a nice breakout on the 1 hour, we might have a retest and continue. But if we wait for the 4 hour, 1 hour doesn't move after it breaks here, we might get a deeper pullback on the 4 hour and we continue.
Hello, guys.
Lajak, hello.
I am looking also AJ. I think it's good. AJ and GJ for me best.
Yeah, these two are perfect. Maybe EJ a little bit better. But they're both good. They're both good. We're gonna have to pick and choose. The reason I like EJ is that well, once it goes above this, there's no traffic. All the way up here, it's no traffic at all. We can continue without any problem here. That's what I like EJ. And about GJ, there's no traffic on GJ either, but just GJ is more volatile. Who knows? Something might happen. But if we get a nice close, I can trust. I can trust GJ. Bay 2, morning. No, we're not on EJ. We're waiting to give us a chance here. Maybe a break like this and a small pullback to continue all the way up.
Isn't the zone a bit lower on EJ?
On EJ?
Yeah.
Well, there's many candles, some closing here, some closing here. So it doesn't make a huge difference because it's a 2-3 pip range in between.
Yeah.
Georgie, I can barely hear you. Turn on your volume maybe.
What about now?
It's better. It's better now.
Nice.
Leave it like this for the next time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think these two are the best right now. EJ and GJ. We'll just see which one gives us a chance. Or maybe at the end they both reject and we get nothing. Can you please analyze GBP CAD? Look, we can, but GBP CAD is a mess right now. When you look at GBP CAD, can you find a zone that is clear? That you'll say, okay, if I wait for this zone, I have a clear traffic all the way down or all the way up. And you only have one there, and this is the one. And it's going too far from this zone right now. To the downside, I don't see anything good here. It's just a mess, and I would say GCAD is a no trade zone right now. I wouldn't trade it. Maybe only if we break below this and we clean this zone, then we could aim for this range to get filled. Other than that, this is all just ranging and nothing concrete. I don't like trading it inside of this. Like I said, only if we get a break below this, maybe get rejected once, twice, then a break below, it's more convincing. GBP pairs are starting to drop. GU also is dropping. GU has a good level to be honest, but I don't know. There's a lot of candles on the left too, which I don't really trust that much. I'm not gonna talk too much about these until I see a candle close, because a lot can change until the end of a candle and we get the whole different kind of close. So we're just gonna wait. AUDJPY looking good also, yeah. AUDJPY also looking good. We have plenty of rejections here. Previous candle got rejected. This current candle is trying to break again. Let's just look at what happened here, because yesterday we tried to break above and it did close above, then came back in the range. Did a small retest and boom, all the way to the downside. So we have to be careful. We need to wait for a good breakout, at least more than yesterday. Yesterday was 3 pips. Today, if it stays like this, 6-7 pips is a lot better. And if we break this on AUDJPY, I think we have a zone, like a free traffic zone, all the way up like a 20 pip range. And that's pretty good. Even more than that. Your cat is, let's take a look. Not my favorite right now to trade. I'm probably not gonna look to trade it. It's at a major zone. It's at a daily zone here. And if you look on the left, it's a mess. All these daily candles, can't really base anything of that. If you look at the 1 hour, you can draw a zone here, and then you can have also this zone. So there's like 2 zones in between. Honestly, I wouldn't take anything here. Just skip it. Wait for some other time to trade your CAD. Like I've said before, all these pairs, they don't give you setups every day. And that's why we have all these pairs to look for, because one of them gives you a chance today, the other day another one gives you a chance. So sticking to just one, it's going to be hard because you might have to wait for a long time to take a trade. There are pairs that are going to consolidate for days. You know, we had EJ, or which one, that consolidated for days and days and days and days, and there was no breakout or nothing to do. Let me see. Yeah, look at this. See this? Would you be able to stay all that time without taking a trade in this? Just watching EJ doing stupid things, pushing, dropping the same range for days. That would be boring as hell.
Damn, GJ is pushing too much.
No, it's going straight to the next zone. Yeah. What happened now? Woke up.
It's GBP, you know.
GJ is going too far. You know, as always, what I don't like about this, that the retest, it's gonna have to come all the way where the candle started. That's one bad thing here that I don't really like. But what can you do? We'll see our options. EJ hopefully doesn't go too far and gives us a chance would be perfect. Do you know Serpenza YouTube channel? No. I don't know. What happens to that channel? Okay, ADJPY is also good. We have EJ, ADJPY, GJ is pushing too far. We'll see about GJ. GA is, there's no setup on GA right now. Somebody said GA, but I don't see anything there. I like EJ. Look, one of these is gonna result in a fake out. So we'll see. We have to choose the best one. Is going to be sell or buy, brother. Can you make it clear, brother? Just tell me if it's a buy or sell. My brother, you have to know if it's a sell or buy. We'll tell you, don't worry. The signal is going to be right in front of you. People don't like explanation. Just tell me it's a buy or a sell, man. I don't need to know all that. Just give me a signal. Can you check GJ is breaking above? GJ is breaking above, but there's still time, guys. There's another 15 minutes until the candles are gonna close. That's when we're gonna have a confirmation. Otherwise, until then, there's nothing we can do. We can just wait for now. Wait until something good comes. There are some pairs that are going to break, and we are waiting. Until candles close, we can't do anything. It's not too far. Less than 15 minutes now. You can get ready, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Hopefully get a good setup. Is stop loss always below breakout candle? No. It's not, because the breakout candles sometimes can be too close to support, so we have to put the stop loss in a different place. Not every time below breakout candle. Sometimes yes, when the setup, it all depends how the setup is. You can't always do that. For example, GJ here. So if GJ is a breakout, we can't put the stop loss just below the breakout candle because it's too close. We have to put it a little below. The point of putting the stop loss is to put it below support, not the breakout candle. But sometimes the breakout candle matches where it is to put it below support. So it's not based on the breakout candle, the stop loss. The stop loss is based where support is. So we put the stop loss below support, and that's sometimes 15 pips, sometimes 10, sometimes even 5, sometimes 20. It's all different in different type of setups. GBP is dropping, GU is melting here. You lost 1.5k on gold. Why? What did you do? Why are you even trading gold? Gold created a resistance here. It has another one here, and it's just ranging. It has created a consolidation box here, doing its thing. You see this? Last minutes, you get whole big rejections. On GJ, on GBP you get a full rejection. Euro US dollar is dropping. EJ probably a rejection, same. Gonna be left with nothing now.
Problem with EJ is we have some news.
Yeah.
Medium impact.
This in 8 minutes. And the next one is in an hour. But it looks like it's not gonna close above at all. From what I see, it's probably going all the way bearish now. EURUSD is rejecting to the upside. Everything is going the opposite. Nothing official yet. I mean, look, GBP US dollar can be pretty good here, because look at how this structure is forming. See now, we had this whole drop to the downside and it turned out to be a fake out, came all the way back, closed above. Now we're getting a whole big drop to the downside, and this time we should continue to the downside. This time, definitely. We are breaking these zones, and they are pretty strong zones. And once they close like this, I just don't see this going all the way up again, because it wouldn't make any sense. That's not how market works. So if this comes for retest, there might be two choices. Price rejecting at 420, 430, like in a 5-6 pip range in between these two zones. And this might be good. I can't say it's gonna come from another zone because the next zone is all the way down here, but I can say that it's breaking zones, two zones, and that's a 10 pip breakout, which is perfect for us. So I might look for sells on GBP US dollar here. He might give us something. Why not? We have some more room to drop then after that. Another 15 pips. That's pretty good. But in the last 5 minutes, you get a whole rejection. So,
Nah, man, don't say that.
let's see. There's still some time. There is still time for something to work out. Look at this. GU.
Maybe GJ is going to be good now.
To the upside?
Yeah,
No.
maybe.
The thing is, I don't like the setups when there's not a certain direction, because GJ is not secure like where it wants to go. It's pushing up, it's pushing down, getting rejected. Like there's no certain momentum that we can go for. Like it's not bullish, it's not bearish. It's just on the same place, probably gonna close with a weak breakout and still gonna fill the wick. But for us, it's not gonna be safe. AUDJPY, okay. Look, we're gonna need a good close on AUDJPY. We can't just take it with a 2-3 pips breakout. It's not a safe pair to trade like that. But we'll see. The thing with AUDJPY is if we take it, we're only gonna use like 7 pip stop loss, because it doesn't have to go all the way down. If it comes all the way down where the breakout candle started, it's probably gonna result in a fake out. So that's the maximum I can give to AUDJPY. A stop loss at 590, like 6-7 pip stop loss. I lose at least 50 euros per day on trades. Isaac, why, man? What are you doing that's going wrong that you're losing 50 euros per day? Like, maybe it's better to find a mentor that can help you and not waste all that money. Because there's certainly something that you're doing wrong that you can fix it. Or maybe just stay here with us. Don't take to whatever you see. Do your analysis, focus, wait for confirmations. A lot of things that you can do. Institutional brokers do not trade strong pairs. It does not make a point. Samuel, how do you know that institutional brokers don't trade strong pairs? Have you seen it, or where did you get that information? Let's say if someone asks you. Because it doesn't make sense to me at all that institutional don't trade strong pairs. Of course they trade. They don't go and trade USD ZAR. Everyone trades the major pairs because they move. Look guys, at the end you can pay 100 people to teach you, but as long as you by yourself don't make a difference or a change, nothing's gonna help you. I can tell you all day to use good risk, but at the end you can still go and risk 10% in trade. I can control you if you can't control yourself.
Hey, Geo might actually break.
Geo might actually break, but we'll see. It's not that good. Not that good. It's not. I don't like that big rejection.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm very good, and you?
I'm pretty good. Can't complain.
What's on the table for today?
We're looking.
I was listening in a little bit. Gee, it's a pity that wick went so far. If it had, if we had had a better closing and a smaller wick, it would have looked a lot better.
Yeah, or if it would close a little below or a little lower, it might be good. The thing is that this can easily make a retest and get rejected and make you regret for not taking it.
And go fill those wicks, and then when it fills those wicks, there's probably still a lot of liquidity
room. Yeah, it can then continue all the way down. So I don't know, hard decision to make here, to take it or not. If
and that 1 hour doesn't have a bottom wick.
Yeah, I mean,
making it look so nice, but
yeah, I think it probably is gonna fill the wick after it makes this retrace here. I don't know. Maybe if it comes a little higher around here, we can try it with some kind of 10 pip stop loss. It wouldn't make sense maybe. Because honestly, you can't just picture any kind of way how this can go up, because it just makes zero sense for this now to continue all the way up. Just look at what happened here on the left. We have 1, 2, 3 candles, 4 candles rejecting the same level, not being able to continue, get rejected. Then the 4th candle comes all the way straight to a downside, closes bearish below the zone. Now, having this candle go all the way up makes zero sense unless something is going to affect this. Unless some kind of news comes out, it makes this go all the way up. But in terms of technicals, this has to continue down. And just wouldn't make any sense to go all the way up. But to take this, it needs to come higher. And needs to come now before switching and going all the way bearish, because that would be probably a done deal after. We'll see. We have some more news coming up. We have some news coming up.
Especially for USD. USD has some big. There's unemployment today, and then tomorrow NFP. So there's 2 relatively large news events.
Geo is coming.
GU is coming, and are we gonna trust GU or not? Let's take a look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour doesn't make it easy at all. The 4 hour is not making things easy. Getting these rejections. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to decide here. The 1 hour looks pretty good to reject. But it might come a little higher. You know what? We might take this, but maybe use a smaller risk since it's not that safe. But the way candles are forming, I think I like this a lot. And we can get like a 10 pips quickly here without that much effort. Or I just wait for a little bit to push higher. But I mean, it's in a good place. We have these candles here also rejecting from before. So what can we expect here? At least going bearish. If not anything else. What do you guys say?
I think there's a couple decent levels to go hunt to come down to, but
ADJPY did the same breakout as yesterday of 2 pips or 3. I wouldn't trust ADJPY right now. It might work perfectly, but it's not that safe. Or what if it turns out to be another fake out, just like yesterday? Look at you now, it's gonna melt.
yeah.
Well, look, I've had the same setup from before on GBP US dollar, and maybe most of the time I regret it for not taking it, but at least I didn't lose anything. It's just these kind of situations that you're not quite sure, and what if it turns out to be a fake out, you know? You're gonna be way more guilty after that loss than when you take a loss. Like yesterday we took a loss, but everything was perfect. Like there was nothing wrong with it to say, okay, this might have caused the problem, because everything was good. But on GU we already have doubts about it, but we also know that it might work, so it's not a safe trade where we know for sure what might happen here. It's just
the probabilities aren't as high.
Yeah, probability is still there. It's still high, but it's like 50-50. Just like I said, you have all these candles, the way they're forming, it makes zero sense to continue all the way up, at least without doing this kind of move. And like you said, when it makes this move here, fills the wick, it's going all the way down here, at least.
Yeah.
It's like a easy thing to see here. It's just simple. That's how the market moves. And when you gain a lot of experience, you can see this kind of setup. Like even if it doesn't fit all my rules, it's still gonna work out. But yeah, what can we do? We're just gonna look in pain. 10 pips already, unfortunately. ADJPY.
I've taken a lot of paper trades like that recently, or sell limits are buy limits like here, where I miss it by a couple pips here and there, but at least it means that the direction is correct.
Yeah, of course. Direction is correct. It's just a thing that even if we didn't take it this time, it gives you like a boost or more confidence for the next time, because you're still going to see the same setup again in the future. It's not going to be the only one happening.
The thing is, you just have to make sure that it doesn't give you too much confidence either, that you don't think that you're going to see it all day now and that it's going to pay off all day. It's there's specific reasons for why they work and they don't work, and to understand that and to go back and to look at those specific trades and maybe also what was happening at the same time elsewhere in the market is very important.
Well, what can we do here now? Because Geo was 1 and ADJPY is risky. I'm telling you that if we come below this candle here, it might be too risky. So, not gonna say exit, but just don't leave it go more than this, at least. Either if you take a loss, at least it's gonna be small. And also you took it with smaller risk, that's good. So, I mean, sometimes maybe it's good to take these kind of trades, like I've said before, or the one that we took on CAD JPY, because we only, I think, used 3-4 pip stop loss and we got like 10 pips in profit, and then he moved like 30 pips. There's these kind of setups where the risk reward is so good. You can use like a 3-4 pips stop and you can get 20 or 30 in return. That could be very good sometimes, and we catch some of these trades from before. This one was not exactly like that. If it made a better breakout than yesterday's try here, a new high, I would consider it, but since it closed like exactly exactly where the previous candle, look how same they are.
Seth, could you check Euro NZD?
Don't tell me broke below, not yet.
No, but I am thinking, can you check my chart? I sent it.
Yeah, let's see.
But if you look on 4 hour, it's almost touched the bottom of the consolidation.
If you look at the 4 hour, it's not good at all. Look, like I said, if you look at the 4 hour, it's already at support and get rejected. I said before, I would take buys before sells here on your NZD. If this candle, for example, goes all the way above the previous candle here, closes above, we have this nice resistance. Look, yesterday we took the break and retest and it was perfect. Same thing can happen today. The only thing that I'm not looking for sells on your NZD is that the daily yesterday was very bullish, and we can still have some bullish continuation here. We've been dropping for so long, we might have some correction also. The 4 hour also is as a rejection here, so sells are not really in place right now to take them. And when you have a consolidation like this, usually don't like to trade it again. Also, when it came too far from the consolidation and came back again, you might have something and still continue up. I wouldn't trust it to, if it comes this far from where the consolidation was and comes back in the range, I wouldn't trust it to sell it to send to the next zone. I like to trade something like this when price comes back in range, when it doesn't go too far. Let's say it breaks here, then comes back in the range again. You can have something like that.
Yeah, best sells would be if the main level will break. Yeah, I think.
I just trust this level more because we've had this big consolidation and the price rejecting, and yesterday we respected this level. So just buys make more sense to me right now. Sells would make sense, of course, if we come and close below this, because this is the biggest zone inside here. Sells would only make sense if we clean this whole zone and break below. That's when I would take sells, otherwise not inside of this consolidation.
Personally, I wouldn't mind if we swept that lower level to 6557 and then we came back with a break-in candle. I would prefer that setup personally. Because if you have to think that all the people who entered into trades over in that huge accumulation zone, if you're putting your stop loss, you're putting it at the bottom of one of those wicks, and there's so many wicks down there, and there's no real wick to clear a lot of to clear the ones previously. So I think there could also be I think that a break-in candle would be a very nice setup as well if we had a good sweep of that level.
Yeah, let's see. I don't really like trading USD most of the time, just because see, make these weird moves, breaking above, coming all the way down. But I like to trade it when there's strong zones, because a small move on USD is very big in terms of pips, and it can give you at least some quick 10 pips. Like yesterday here, only coming bullish was 10 pips. Filling the wick was 20 pips, and it was such a small move needed for us to get 20 pips. That could be easy 1-2%. And after that, we had a clear traffic all the way up, which was a 40 pip move. I held it all the way until this next zone was like 50-60 pips. So it was an easy setup here. Nice. And when there's just these big zones, it just makes sense to have at least a quick 10-15 pips, which can be caught fast, and you don't have much to wait for it. Like this retest yesterday took like 5 minutes or so. In 1 minute went bullish and went another 10 pips, 20 pips was done. Like I was about to take it on copy trader, and until it was like here, and when I watched it on my phone, so when I opened my iPad, take it already went bullish. Like it didn't give me time, unfortunately, but it would be a quick 1% there. EM buys after the stream, yeah, they were after, because the stream ended around here, so it came like 2-3 hours after. Do you trade a lot after stream? Sometimes yes, sometimes there's no setup. Depends. Depends what market gives us. Don't you get sick of that same music again and again? Well, I never get sick. You just have to get used to it. You know, I don't even listen to it, to be honest. It's sometimes like you turn on the radio in your car, but you don't pay attention to it. It's just a noise. You don't listen what's happening or anything. It's the same here. I don't even listen to it. It's like regular. Buy when it hits support. I don't understand you. Look guys, if you are new, just go to the channel and watch. Let's say if you don't want to watch all of them, just say like, let's say watch the last stream, which was yesterday. So we took 2 trades and you already have everything explained there. You can understand the concept of what we do here pretty easy. We wait for a breakout, we buy when it makes the retest. So it's that simple. AUD JPY coming lower. Yeah, I expected this on AUD JPY, so that's why I wasn't very excited. I was more excited when I saw it here, but then when it got rejected, it was the same as GJ. It didn't have a clean direction where it wants to go.
Yeah, but now they are creating quite nice zones. If they
You
break
are
one.
right, yeah. The more rejections we get, the better it becomes. It's good, but it's not good. Like, it's good for the setup because the zone becomes stronger, but not good for us because we have to wait longer. EJ also got rejected. EA now pushing all the way up. Oh, what's gonna happen here? Now on EA we're in between 2 zones. If you want to take something, it's tricky because we need to break both. If price comes here then comes for retest, it's too risky. But let's see, maybe USD does something. Oh my god. Don't look at GU because you will regret a lot of things. Because a big push just came.
Exactly. The Dixie's been pushing recently. They're expected to have good data for the next couple days.
Oh, did the news come out?
No, not yet, but predictions are relatively positive.
Let me just check the other websites too, because this news sometimes has a bigger effect on. Where's the news here? I don't see it. On Forex Factory, it's not even there. See the financial juice, because this one is good.
But the financial, no, but there was no news now for the US, but it's coming out at 2:30, and the predictions are very good. And
no, I mean for GBP.
For GBP, there is
this market construction PMI, because usually it does have some effect on the market, but today it says low, and I don't really trust that.
On Financial Juice, it says medium.
Financial Juice says medium. Where is
exactly? It depends on the provider that you use. They all say they all evaluate these events differently.
Wait, I don't see this. TPP.
Where it says UK, it's the UK market construction.
Oh, this one, yeah. So it says medium. See, they all say different, and I can't really know which one is right. I stay most of the time with with my FX book, it's good. Let's see what it says, the investing. Look at this. It's high impact on investing.com. See 3 websites and they all say different. It says high impact, Financial Juice says medium, on Forex Factory you don't even have the news, it doesn't exist. And on my FX book it says low. Which one should we trust now?
That's why for me I just use Financial Trade, and that's Financial Juice, and that's what I use now. I try to not look at all of them, because if you spend all day looking at how they each evaluate them differently, it would be interesting actually to hear why some would give some events high and why some would give it low. But maybe some of them are also more outdated, where they are more historically, because recently it's changed a lot. The events don't have as much impact as they used to, and now only a few really have consistently have significant impact. So
very true, because just like NFP used to be way more volatile news, when NFP was coming, like you already knew that there's gonna be a bloody day for USD. Like gold would move so much, and Euro USD and all these pairs, but now it's changed dramatically how NFP has impact on the market. You can watch all the previous NFPs for the last year, and you can see how small the moves are. You can watch USD JPY. USD JPY used to do some big drops or pushes on NFP day. Now it just doesn't happen anymore.
For me, it's almost now that the moves are made before or after. So either they've already cleared the way. I just feel that the way they now plan it into the market is different than what they used to. I think maybe in the past it was more reactive on the day, and I think now there's more pre-planning. And I think they can basically schedule it how they want, because if they know that event is going to bring a lot of bullish momentum for repair, they can plan it so that we all buy when the institutions are selling, basically, and that we're giving them a good price, and that we're all losing money at the same time. And so there's a lot of different things they can do with it, because they can also do it before time, and then they can have the big push during, and then not many people will be ready during the event now, because we don't see those big pushes now, like you just said. So they're in control of the market, and they can see all of our cards, because the algorithms can literally see everybody's order. So it's very tough. They can basically read the market and say, for this event we'd like to do it like this, and then plan it however they want, as they can move the market, as we've seen consistently. So it's a tough, trading with news is a very tough question, and I don't think there's any clear answers on it. I do think that a lot of people also notice that in terms of volume before main events, I think the volume slightly goes down, but I think the volatility goes up, so that they can clear space and go either way if they have to. But it's tough. It's I don't think I haven't spoken with somebody who's mastered the art of trading news, basically.
Yeah, I mean, before you would have a move before the news, you would have a move when the news would release, and you would have a way bigger move after that. After the news would be a lot more continuation in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, now it's way different. Like if I would just be able to find, maybe on simulation, I will try to see some NFP days,
mm-hmm.
and just to get an example, like you would have moves like this on UJ, because everyone knows that UJ is a slow pair, but on NFP day would move too much, and you could trade UJ with a small stop loss on NFP, because it would move only in one direction, you know, and you could use 10 pips risk stop loss, and you would get like a 60-70 pips move from the news. Like, would be crazy to trade it. Also, the spread wouldn't go crazy like it goes on gold or other pairs on UJ. These days, NFP comes and UJ moves a 15 pip move.
If there's any way where it's too easy to make money, they're gonna get rid of it. And especially now with the algorithms that they have, basically, if there's any trading strat that becomes too profitable, the algorithms will adapt themselves to make sure that doesn't happen. So it's very, very tough. You basically have to create your own kind of algorithm of being yourself and learning and creating your own salad, like some people would say, or about basically creating your own system and following your rules and hoping that and keep constantly redefining yourself and refining yourself, but try to keep the key elements there and try to not overreact to some losses or wins, and then hope that eventually you can start beating the algos. But it's never going to be it where you can come on the charts and find something like that quickly. It's going to have to be a rare occasion because the algo is always going to win and you just want to be on its side. So try to play smart and play as few as you can with a high probability.
I remember my first year when I traded, and it was like 2-3 months in, and I knew something about FOMC and NFP. I think it was NFP day, but after NFP there was FOMC or Fed rate, something like that. And I think I went full margin on Euro-US dollar.
Did you get lucky?
Yeah, I did get lucky. But until I got lucky, it was a very, very stressful day because it went against me. Like I said, first when the news went all the way to the upside. I think I was on sells on Euro-US dollar, and then it was so close to blow my account, but I don't know, I got lucky and I didn't get stopped out. I think I closed one position to give it more room, you know, if margin. It goes, yeah. I think I closed one and it was not a big loss. Then it came all the way back down and went like 2-3k profit. But I never did that same thing again anymore, you know. That was a lesson. A lot of stress
exactly. It induces so much stress into your trading that you're not gonna be sleeping well and stuff like that. You're just not gonna be happy.
Yeah, and, like you make 2k, but you're exhausted.
And because you're exhausted, and because you made 2k, the next day you're gonna come back and you're gonna be like, I made 2k yesterday. I'm tired, but like I'm on fire. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And it's gonna overtrade, and you're gonna lose it all. So there's very few people who can win the lottery and not buy a lottery ticket again, I feel.
It just happens once. I mean, there are some people who trade the news like regularly, but they just do it like gambling. I mean, you get lucky one day you don't. The other day you deposit again, you might get lucky again, but there's no consistency there. Just like gambling, there's no consistency. You're just doing it without any kind of information, any kind of confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
You better go to casino. You have more luck, maybe. Good thing that we have a system now, and it works pretty well. It's not based on news, which is good, but there's always good to know about fundamentals, to have them on your side, you know. It gives your trades a lot more probability when you also know about fundamentals. Even though until now I didn't have the need to know much about fundamentals, and you can, you know, be a consistent trader even without knowing about fundamentals, because you can just find what time the news are released, where you can have where they can have, you know, effect on the market, where they can affect the market, and you can stay away from them. Just stay away from the market when the news will come, and I think you can be fine because I did fine. I don't remember the last time I got caught in a trade because of the new unexpected news. Even when we had the COVID and all this, we still, I think, managed to do very well and not get caught up in the new unexpected news. I think last time when there was some unexpected news, we were lucky. It was EJ trade. I think we got a very big push. It's not a very long time ago when that happened, but pretty much I don't remember a time when we got unlucky to get stopped from the unexpected news, or maybe once in the last year. I think there was one time on USD CAD. It was like a perfect setup, but some kind of news came up. I just mean that we went in a very tough period when we had the Brexit talks. We would have every day unexpected news or tweets or something like that, and I don't know, we survived pretty well. I just know that we spent a lot of session saying let's stay out of GBP, but it was worth it because we didn't get caught up on big unexpected moves that would go against us.
It's definitely one of those little things that you need to be aware of, the big news events that are happening today, and the trades that it will affect, to not be in trades at those times if you can, or unless you have some long-term sentiment. And I feel like there's 1,000 little details in trading, and to start to learn them, the more and more, the more potential that you will have. And fundamentals and knowing about news events a little bit, or knowing when they are, I think that's pretty, or at least knowing where they are, I think that's the minimum. But if you want to go further, it'll open more potential. Of course, you can't just read a couple articles and think that you know more than the institutions, etc. But if you do start to form some biases and start to test them over the weeks and see what happens on weeklies, I think that's a good way to get started. And then eventually that can give, if you can say where the week, like on the Dixie, if you could say this week we're going to have a bullish week or a bearish week, you would make so much money. So I think that the value in that would be very high. And it would, because that would mean that you could stay in your trades for longer because you have that overall sentiment. But I'll repeat it again. It's very, of course, institutions have access to a lot of information. So to play in this game, you have to be a decent level. So I wouldn't just go start trading this, but you can always start testing it and just start saying, oh, this week I think the USD will do this, and see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, even if you know all the fundamentals, if you don't have a good system to
exactly
to trade, like a good strategy alongside with that fundamentals, you're not going to do anything at all.
Because it's all about execution. Because if you look on these pairs over the week, a lot of them actually make some of them over the months make very little movement, and it's a lot of whipsaw. So it's all about timing and trading. So like you say, if you don't have a good system about the execution and how to actually trigger on that bias, then it's worthless as well. Yeah. And that's why focusing on that system and creating one is very important. But yeah.
For me, in the beginning, like when you are a new trader, all you hear is fundamentals. Everyone just tries to make it a little difficult for you, and you somehow understand that, okay, if I don't know economics, or if I don't know all these fundamentals, I'm not going to be able to do anything here. And that's the thing that I thought in the beginning. Then I said, okay, I don't care about the news anymore. I'm going to try only technicals. I'm going to try to avoid when there's news. And even when you don't focus on news, when you make a lot of experience, you're gonna understand a lot of things by time. You know how they can affect the market, which you should look for, because there's so many things that happen fundamentally that they don't maybe have effect on the market. There are a lot of people who maybe think something might have effect on the market, but it's just useless. It's just an article that has no effect, for example. And you learn to look what's the most important things, what's the most important news that can affect the market, like it's NFP on when there's interest rates, or when there's a budget report, or all these kind of things. With experience, you know exactly which one might cause a lot of volatility, which one might not. All these things, even if you don't pay too much attention, you're gonna learn them eventually without putting a lot of effort on it. And if you stay with the right people, you learn a lot from them too, because you can't be good in every aspect on trading. You know, you might have problems in one department. So everyone, a lot of people say I'm very good at technical analysis, but I just don't have patience to wait for it. Or someone says I risk too much. Someone says I'm not very good at technicals, but I am very patient. I can wait for the trade. Sometimes not good at executions. Sometimes someone doesn't know how to put stop losses that good. And when a lot of people that are have a lot of knowledge become together, everyone gives something to the other, and you know you just feel that small thing that you need in your trading. For example, I didn't know much about fundamentals, but I created some friends and some good, I don't know the word, but yeah, I was added to a group, let's say, and I had very good friends that knew a lot about the markets, and I understood a lot of things that I would never hear if I was not there. And I was already very good at trading, but they also added some things. If I didn't know anything about fundamentals, I would hear them all day about fundamentals. And if a year passes and you hear every day about these things, even without putting any effort, you're somehow gonna learn a lot of new things. And even if you're not gonna put that in use, you're gonna you're gonna start to prevent going into the markets when these things happen. So for me, it was just stay away from the news if you can. Don't trade that day. So as you become more, as you have more experience and more experience, you get to that point that where you don't really care to trade for a day or two. If there's going to be Brexit talks this whole week, I might stay the whole week away. I don't trade it. But when you're new, you have that need to take trades, and you're gonna get involved in the markets during the news, and you don't have much information. So it's just it depends how we can manage it. If you can manage to stay away when there's news, you can deal just fine without them. Can you learn about the news more? If you can, it would be even better. The more knowledge you get, the better you become. Even if you don't put that much in use, it's good to have, you know. It's just like a lot of people don't finish the university or something like that. Look, it doesn't matter if it if you need it or not. It's good to have there. You know, you never know when you might use it. Even if you have a source of income that's gonna keep you for life, you never know what can happen. Because there are a lot of rich people that don't need to go to school, for example, and they say, I don't need it, but you never know when you might need it. One day you might go broke, and if you have like a profession of yourself, you might use it someday.
But also financially permitting, because I can understand that's also complicated in some situations. But in general, it's also just a great. It's a lot of fun to go to college, so and to be with a lot of people your age, and you meet a lot of people that you know for life. I feel, and I think it's also great. It can be a great social event, and you learn a lot about yourself as well. And it's the first time that you're away from home, or from home for a lot of people. So I think it offers more value than just the education that you receive in classes. And then even for that just alone, it's already provides a lot of value. So
yeah, just like I say to some people that say I don't need to be in a group, I can trade by myself. It's not just about coming to a group to learn how to trade, because you can be a very good trader and trade very well already, but it's different when you have a society that do the same thing all the time. One thing is that you get a lot more confident in that thing, and helps a lot. Like, it's not the same dealing with a loss by yourself.
When you see everybody dealing with losses as well, and it's just part of the rhythm and it's part of the process.
When you have 100 people around and they all taking the same loss, it's way different. Just like when we lose someone in life, if you're just alone and you lost a very valuable person in your life and you don't have anyone to somehow give you a push or give you a hug, it feels so much worse. It doesn't matter who it's gonna be. You just need that small, person to be with, and you go through things very easy. And the same thing is here. When we take a loss, if my student takes a loss by himself, it's going to be much worse than if I take it too. Your mentor takes a loss, and you say, okay, if my main mentor took a loss, of course I'm going to take a loss too, because he's not perfect, so I can't be perfect too. Even though he has so much experience, and he still takes a loss here and there. So it just becomes a regular thing, and you can deal with it very easy. And that's why someone asked me if you all do the same thing in the group. Of course we do, and that's a rule. One of the problems on most of groups is that people go into a group to learn a strategy, let's say, and they all trade differently. So that's what I don't understand. And in my group it's different. We all focus on one thing, break and retest, and that's you master one thing. If you go to a place to learn something, let's say if you go to a course to learn how to play football, now the coach is going to tell you the way how you're going to play. Now you're coming from another club. You can't implement your previous club strategy to your new club, because your coach is not going to let you do that. You have a different team now. You have to do what the team does. You can't do it on your own, and you have to adapt with the new way of training, let's say. So same in my group. If you had a lot of experience before trading different strategies, and you have different ways of trading, and you start to post it on a group, and other people gonna start to get confused. What is this? What is that? Why are you trading that and I'm not trading it? Is that better, or this is better? So there's a lot of confusion added in the group if people trade differently. That's why it's better to have the same system for everyone and try to perfect it. And also, it's like 100 people do the same thing. And you know how the chances are to catch a trade because everyone's looking at the same thing. If I don't see something, someone else gonna let me know about it. Just like yesterday, I think UNZD, I was not watching UNZD because I watched it on the previous hour. I think I watched it when it was here. Then I didn't pay attention to UNZD anymore because I didn't expect this big candle. But somebody else was watching it and they let me know. Then because of them, I also found out about UNZD and we all took it and we all won. Somebody missed it, but of course we can't all take it. We can be in different places, different occasions, we might miss it. But the point is that you don't really miss too many trades because we're all looking at the same thing and the confidence is very high. Just like I knew when I joined the group, I already was profitable, but when I was put in that group, my confidence went straight to the upside. Like I had double confidence in trades from that moment. And I know it by myself, so that's why I say about you guys also. When you are trading a strategy, but you don't have the full information and every detail, and you join a group, your confidence gonna go straight to the upside without a retest at all because you are with people who do the same thing 24 hours a day every single day, and when you do the same thing for a long time every single day, you know that that guy has a lot of information about that particular way of trading.
But there's also a lot of these gurus that you have to watch out for. So
yeah,
it's easier said than done. You have to find the ones to trust.
That's
then,
true. But I
so
think
observe them for a while, look at results, see if they fit your style, and then learn about their system, the ins and out of it, and don't hesitate to ask questions. And then yeah.
I think this time that we live now, it's very easy to find out who's a scam, who's not. You have everything online. You can do the judgment between two people very easy. You just see what do they provide, what do they do for free or not free, because there are a lot of people who trade but you never see a chart in their Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But they sell, for example, big courses with big amount of money, ask for a big amount of money, but you never see him taking a live trade in front of hundreds of people and explain it and stay doing it. Stay doing the emotion that you have during the trading. Stay doing a losing trade. What do you do when you have a losing trade? How are you gonna avoid it, or how are you gonna take that loss? Are you gonna bounce back the next day, or are you gonna disappear once you have a losing day? It's all different. You
By
can
the way,
easily watch who's good, who's not. Yeah.
We're having a great little discussion, I believe, in the YouTube chat about risk. And Mark, I'm not sure that you're understanding the concept of risk. You can only calculate your risk based on your pips, and because basically it's your lot size and your pips that will decide your risk. So if you enter $10, but then you have a 2 pip spread, then you have to base your lot size on that 2 pip spread.
Yeah, you have to include your spread too.
Exactly. Or yeah. So there's a couple. Is Stinu, I think. Even though I've heard Stinu isn't very good, so there's an app called STINU, I believe, that helps you a little bit with the basics of that. But you have to definitely, and I know sometimes if you have the FOMO so much that you're not willing to calculate your proper risk, don't take the trade, because that means you're probably emotional. But don't always calculate your risk. Be prepared to say, I'm ready to lose this much, and not get emotional about it, and to remain calm and make coherent decisions during the trade. And so what you have to do is you have to look at this stop loss, or okay, well, sorry, Mark. Well, we're clarifying it now, but I think for a lot of people, maybe it was also clear. But it's basically, you have to look at the amount of stop loss look at how much money you're willing to risk, and then that decides how many lots you enter into the trade. And so yeah, basically.
Look, guys, using the or calculating risk or all these things are very easy now. You have plenty of different apps or websites where you can calculate your risk, including spread and everything. This shouldn't be an issue. And don't look to have exact risk. Look, this is not to the place to do that exact thing, to ask exactly for 10 or 20 pips, because it can always every setup be different. This day you might take a 9 pips profit. The other day you can take an 11 pips. You're targeting 10, but yeah, you get 11. One day you might take 8, the other day you might take 15. But you can never have the same exact risk on every trade, because every setup is different. For example, yesterday on USD, we had a free traffic all the way up. But in another setup, you're not going to have this much room to push, for example. You're going to have the next level very close, so you don't have the same chance to make the same amount of money as you had on another day. So you have to leave these things that you have to be perfect in every single trade, using the perfect amount of risk. For example, me myself, I say to use the same risk in every trade in terms if you want to find consistency, but it's not exactly everything to be the same on every trade, because you can't manage to do that. Every trade is going to be the same.
GJ is pushing. Maybe
okay,
we'll get some.
GJ was pushing, 4 minutes left. Okay, interesting push, but it needs to give us enough pips here. It's not enough.
Gonna be a 4-hour setup too.
Oh, the 4 hour is gonna close too. That's interesting. Yeah, but it doesn't matter how the 4 hour closes if we don't break good above the resistance. Guys, look, when I started to break and retest, I didn't take 20 pips in on every trade. Consistency comes wins after wins. It doesn't matter how big they are. One can be 10 pips, one can 11. I used to take 8 to 10 pips on every trade because I was too afraid to hold it for longer. But with experience, you get more confidence. You start to hold the trades for a longer time. Then, with more experience, you understand where can you hold for longer, where you can't, where you should have to cut your wins earlier because there might be something that might affect your trade. All these things come from experience. And if you are starting from the beginning and you have a good setup, you can't be very, very, very strict about it. You can't be very strict what you can lose. For example, you set a certain amount of percentage or money, it doesn't matter, of how much you lose, and same thing is how much you win, but every setup is different. Just if you look at my copy trade, there are no exact wins and losses in terms of pips or percentage, because every setup is different. In some setups we use half risk, in some setups we use a bigger risk. There are some setups where we're not very sure, then we don't put the same amount of risk. But what I've been saying all the time, consistency is what matters. One day you have a smaller win, the other day you have a bigger win. As long as that continues for a period of time, for a long time, you're gonna make more than enough, and you're gonna be more than happy. I haven't read the chat that much, but it's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
I can't read it all. Look, the point is, at the end, use as much as you can afford to lose. That's it. Don't use a bigger risk that you can't afford. I can risk 1K today because I can afford to risk that or to lose that. If you can't, it all depends how your balance is, how much you can risk, how much you can afford to lose. It all depends. And people ask me all the time, what risk do you use? It's a personal thing. I can't say I use 5% risk now, you go and use 5% because you can't. I have 5 years of experience. I've made enough that I can afford to risk 5% now if I want.
And to calculate exactly how many lots that means, Mark, you can use the link that I just put in the group. Or in the chat, in the YouTube chat.
No, I think it's not there. Because you can't.
Because you can't share full links,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Maybe
basically,
you have a
if you Google my FX book.
No, send it to me. I'll post
Okay.
it. Maybe I can. Send here to the chat.
But this is just the my FX book, so I'm not sure if it's. There's a couple brokers that have it, or where you can see the risk that you're taking basically within the program. You just put in the stop loss. Basically, you have to know your stop loss and your entry, and then your own risk, and you can find out the amount of lots that you need. But you do need to know your stop loss and one that you won't move, because if you start moving stop loss, you're moving your percentages, and then you're getting into emotion and stuff. Try to take don't be risky, don't be greedy on that stop loss. You don't need to be the fire entry. You just need to get the direction and get your 1% of the day.
Yeah, it's easy.
Tell me about not being greedy from yesterday. 1 pips on Euro New Zealand.
You missed it? Oh,
yeah.
Don't worry, man. Like 2 weeks ago, I had 4 buy limits and sell limits that did not get triggered by less than 0.3 pips. One was 0.1 and 2 were 0.3 and one was 0.2 literally. And then I also got stop loss literally to the pipette during dead hour because I fell asleep, and or during the daily swap hour. And there was 5 times where I got stop loss within 5 pipettes. So I learned that lesson hard. But
yeah,
it's I can understand you.
Yeah, it's set fault, this one, but it's okay.
Exactly, it's just one. If it's just one and you learn your lesson and you journal about it and you learn your lesson, honestly, that's a low price to pay over the next years.
Yeah. Well, it will be good. I think.
Exactly. That means that you were close and that your idea was close, or that the idea was right, but that it's just the execution. And if you've never played the sport often, it's normal that, or at the beginning when you're just learning to get that, or when you're getting that experience in the sport, it's normal that you're just discovering things and you're on a journey, you're learning, We're gonna make lots of little mistakes like that, I feel, but as long as you notice it right away and you journal it, and the next week you don't just forget about it and you really learn from that loss, then I have confidence that you'll become a good trader one day.
Yeah, I hope so. We all do, guys.
Look what we have here. EA did a very nice break and retest here, but it was a weak breakout. See, no top wick did the retest straight to the upside.
And we have also red news on Euro, I think.
Yeah, is it coming now?
It's 4 minutes ago, I think.
AUD CAD. Let me see this AUD CAD.
Unemployment is slightly lower in Euro than expected, but doesn't mean you go sell all the Euro or go buy all the Euro, sorry.
Okay, this is good. This looks good. You see how many pips the breakout is. 6, 7, nice. Did we miss it or not yet? Because it's getting rejected. You see how the spread is on AUD CAD? Because I have big spread on AUD CAD. And it's not good at all. To be honest, this is a pretty good setup on AUD CAD. We had a very big push to the downside. We closed below this, a very good support. It was always respected, even though you see we broke above, we did respect it, went all the way up. Now getting close below. Last time we got a close below, we did a very nice move to the downside. Same thing we can expect here too. I like this.
You should have an account with Black Bull so you can do the Oceania pairs.
Yeah, I'm opening an account very soon. I think I opened one, but I don't know. I haven't done it yet fully. But this could be very nice. Black Bull are a very good broker. Might have good spread on these pairs.
On FTMO it's quite good, it's 0.5 pips, 0.6.
It's not bad. That's not bad. The thing is, we got rejected and it looks like we're not gonna come to make that retest. I don't know if I was late or I don't know if I would take here or wait a little higher because there's more room, another 3 pips to push. The 4 hours closed too. Oh, this is good. Because the 4 hour closed too. Let's take a look at these other 4 hour candles. GU. GU can continue down still and fill this wick again. But now we have a 4 hour close, which is even better. So we can expect price to get rejected around here. The thing is also we did hit the next support. So what is this? Euro US dollar. It's at support. Let's see. EA. Man, EA would be epic if it closed a little above. Just like give at least a more than 5 pips breakout. Because we said that we're in between two zones. And the way it closed was very nice. Just a little above and would be perfect. It already made a 10 pip move. Let me see this. AUD US dollar also closed below. The close a little bit weak maybe. Let's see. To be honest, today I'm positive that we're gonna get something. It's just a matter of time probably. And Euro NZD did close above, but a very annoying close. Not as we would expect, and didn't really make a pullback or anything. Straight to the upside. A lot of momentum right now. With this new 4 hour close opens, we have a lot of...
in the chat, if you want to ask questions on advice and stuff, you're gonna have to send some charts, because saying that you have an open position for UJ and that you're down does not help me. I'm guessing that it's a sell based on where it's gone today, but we don't know your entrance. We don't know what you're seeing. We don't know a lot of things. You have to give us a lot more info if you want us to give some feedback.
Yeah, I mean, Sun Swifts. If you could send a chart, would be perfect. If we can see where your position is, why did you enter? Because we don't know for sure what's happening there. You're down $140. What lot size did you use? Where did you enter? I'm guessing you have sold USD JPY probably.
Exactly. Based on where it's gone this morning,
Yeah.
I guess.
Based on how I see, because you can't be on buys here and see $140 in
Unless you
drawdown.
bought at that very tip and you put a decent amount of risk.
Yeah, let's see. We're gonna do some calculation here and see how much where could you have entered.
Mark, take note.
Swish money. Let's see. Money. $140 risk. Stop loss. How much? Wait. How should I count this? No, swap with risk. Let's use 5% risk. Stop loss 10 pips. Calculate 0.50 lots.
And it's as easy as that.
Now I wanna find where did he enter and what risk he used, or what lot size does he have to beat this in drawdown. Probably he sold resistance around here, because that's what most people do. They sell resistance and they want that big drop to the downside, which can only come in dreams, or sometimes it might happen actually once in 10 years. But you never sell resistance without having a confirmation. If something happened here, if for example you sold UJ here, at least put your stop just above. You can't just let it run to the upside. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How far you think that's gonna go, then come all the way back down? It doesn't make any sense. If you at least trade this way, at least use a stop just above. Don't let it go 100 pips against you. You see that price broke above, right? You say, okay, I'm not selling UJ anymore because it broke the level. What do you look for? You look for a buy, because that's where trend is going. That's where you have a confirmation, you have a breakout, you have a retest, and what else you expect other than pushing all the way up?
Hope can be dangerous when you're trading.
Ooh. Yeah, this is the thing here, the problem, because all this move, a lot of people are just hoping that it might come back down.
Exactly. But if you and now you're looking on an hour chart, but I'm sure if you're looking like on a monthly chart, I'm sure you have the very same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Look how bullish UJ is. I mean, there's no hope that this might come back until, it might have a small pullback here actually, but there's always the chance that it might break this too. I don't know. Feel sorry for people who are in a big drawdown because just they sold resistance without having any information, any confirmation, and now they're just staying in with hopes that might come, and it might continue even more after making a small pullback. See, the problem is now when it makes a small pullback, let's see, it comes around here, people have entries here. People are still, yeah, they're not going to close because the hopes are now higher that, okay, now price might come here, and come and close,
and even
or
go lower. It can
yeah.
even go lower now. It was just a deeper sweep, or it was just a deeper move.
And then the problem is it comes here, then rejects all the way up and creates a new high. It goes a lot more, and you end up having a way bigger a loss than you even expected before. You never know how far it can come. So that's why we use stop loss and a small stop to avoid these kind of moves. Look, yesterday we had a loss on Euro US dollar, right? So what did I say? I said if it goes below this, it's gonna go all the way down because that's what made sense. And we had a stop loss here because I knew that once this make the whole drop of the previous candle, there's nothing other than bearish continuation here. If price couldn't continue up 2 times, it tried, then just one way left to go to the downside. It's a logical thing. If it doesn't push to the upside, it's going to go down. That's why we have 2 options only here, up or down, or it might consolidate. But it wasn't a case to consolidate here because there was a lot of momentum to the downside, and it was a last minute and price was pushing. When price is pushing hard on the last minute before candle close, next candle is going to push straight. That's like 100% thing I've seen all the time. Even if it doesn't push straight to the downside, it's going to make a small rejection and still push up, push down, or up in a different case. But look, if we would stay with hopes here that price might still come up, who knows, but still, let's just keep this. We would keep it until here. It would go down. Would say, okay, let's wait because it might come down up from here because there's support here, and then boom, you would have another push to the next support. Would say, okay, still let's wait because you don't know, it might come. Then would have this pullback and would have a chance to get out, but would say, no, let's stay because look at this bullish candle. It might come all the way up, but then you could get boom, another drop, then a new low, just like I said in UJ. And you would end up taking this big loss without having the need to take this loss and with having a lot of options to get out before going this low and getting you in deep trouble. EA is breaking out. It is breaking out of the next zone. This is so good. It was an easy 20 pip move from this point here. See on this, Jerome, if you remember what we talked about like 2 days ago or a day ago, I don't know. When you have this candle but it doesn't give you that enough confirmation but you still want to take it.
Yeah.
This was the same year. It only had a 3-4 pip breakout, but I knew for sure this is gonna go all the way up.
If that wick had been a little lower in the next hour, we could have even considered like when it turns bullish. But it was also a pretty small wick, so not a real
I was
deep...
also very positive to take it if it comes lower. Even though it didn't have a very good breakout, I was about to take it, but yeah, was not meant to be. Herman, sorry if I didn't look at your message before. Let's take a look. Whoever sent this, I forgot to mention this. We talked about your NZD. It was coming from a 4-hour zone. There was no sells, and we said that we're not taking sells. Luki, I think Luki was the one who sent it. I hope you closed it before it made that move. In these two areas to become interesting, guys. Continue. I don't know. I mean, I would look for this particular trade if it comes and breaks above to continue up for me. But I think you're expecting more consolidation. I mean, it's good that we're having this consolidation, because when it breaks, you might have a nice move either to the upside or to the downside.
Normally with consolidation boxes, though, you try not to trade in them unless you have a very clear direction you think it's going to go in, because it can always whipsaw between accumulation zone, and then it can always leave the accumulation zone. So if you're just going to buy, and because this would basically be buying and selling at bottoms and tops, and hoping that the accumulation box holds, basically. And I think that's there's better trading. I think you find a better strat than be more patient, wait for it to leave the zone. There'll be more clean candles, and you can have more clean direction going where you would want. Unless you have some overriding reasons why you really think it's going to accumulate for so long, etc. I'd watch out with these trades. I don't know many traders who would advise you to trade within that consolidation box.
Erman has a unique way of trading, and I like this chart here. How can I make this like this? I want to see these lines too. They look cool. You told me once, but I didn't know how to do it.
Somebody from the group actually asked me for my colors too. I was very proud. I had no idea how to share them though. On the YouTube, somebody said EA is melting, and I go look and it's down like 7 pips, 8 pips. It's just rejecting a little bit from some more resistance.
No, he means it's flying, but he probably used the wrong word. There are some people who say it's flying to the downside too. So it's just a different word to use. When it goes down, it's melting, because when things melt, they go down. Like when the ice cream melts, it goes all the way down. To the upside, you can't melt to the upside.
But you can fly to the upside.
You can fly to the downside, or not.
Well, not if you're starting from the downside. You have to first fly up to then fly down.
Yeah, you can start from the downside to fly up. Then when you're up, you can fly down and up and down and up.
Then it starts to get more confusing.
Every time I go somewhere with fly with airplane, I'm always so amazed how does this work.
I have the same thing with boats, kind of. Even though I understand that planes are a lot more advanced, with boats as well, I'm like, they're two interesting transportations, we'll say.
Yeah, having it so easy, it's crazy these days. I even now the planes have cameras on the wing. They have cameras on the downside and one in the front, and you can watch the whole drive while it happens. And when it lands, you can see the wheels. No wheels. You can see everything basically. I don't know if I can show you, but it's so interesting. And you have a very nice view also. Did you manage to monetize your YouTube yet? Yeah, but still nothing yet. I've still not verified fully. My country is nowhere to be found. Okay, so I don't have. I think I'm gonna have to go now, unfortunately. But we're gonna have to see. There's some setups coming up. It's EuroJPY coming up. Maybe now a break above would be good after having these rejections from the downside. But we'll keep touching the group and see what we can do. Right now I'm gonna have to go. My generator's been running for too long now. No, 2 hours, 3 hours, not that much. But maybe electricity will come. But man, the generator saved me today, because I wouldn't be here.
Maybe people will get lucky with the second stream of the day then.
We'll see if we get something today. For today, guys, I'm gonna go now.
Have a good afternoon. Stay safe.
Thank you very much for being here today.
No worries.
And see you later. Once the trade comes, we become lively again in the group. Thank you all, guys. Thank you for being here today. We gonna wait for EJ break above. I think this is one of the nice setups right now. Other than that, maybe Euro and ZT, but it's gone too far. And other than that, what else? I don't think anything else is on the table. Maybe Euro AUD EA might give us something, but depends how it closes. But I think I'm going to go for EJ. Need to start posting your videos on the home tab of your YouTube channel, not just the videos tab. Maybe you're right. I'll see what I can do. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it, but I'll find a way. Okay guys, see you. Have a nice day. We'll keep in touch, as you know. And YouTube, have a nice day. Sorry that I'm not gonna be there for you, but can't do anything more than this. See you. Have a lovely day. Leave a like if you want, of course. It's not necessarily. And join tomorrow also. We're gonna be earlier tomorrow because today there was some delay because of electricity. See you. No, let's do transition. Then the ending. It's not there. One more transition. Boom. I need to get some kind of button that does transitions from Streamlabs. Make it easier. Can you send the link to the group? Yeah, breakandretest.com. No, the group is private, only students there.